Welcome to the Dance Party 247 podcast. I'm the DJ T, we've got DJ Envy and DJ Wongy, and our special guest today is DJ Spongy from Beatbloxers. Spongy, please introduce yourself in terms of how you know these other two DJs to my sides, and a bit about your background.
Right, I met DJ Envy, blimey, how long ago?
We was about 16, 15, 16.
Yeah, 15. Yeah, it must have been.
We met through a guy called Dave Kelly. Do you remember Dave?
Yeah, I remember Dave.
Yeah,
Dave the Rave.
Yeah, that's him. We met through a guy. We met through him. So, and I was still at school then, all them years ago.
You actually went to school?
He was barely hanging on to school.
Well, I was enrolled in a school. We'll go with that.
And
so how many years is that?
Oh. So I think what?
Well, you're 40 now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm an old boy now.
25.
25 years. That's a long time. I've had to put up with
I want a divorce. Where? We had some great times, mate.
We do try and divorce, but then we end up rekindling.
Right, anyway, moving on.
And then Wongy, I met through DJ Envy.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I do apologise.
But to be fair, I might have met you through your brother as well before.
Yeah, I was just about going to say, I was aware of Wongy anyway because my two older brothers, obviously knew Wongy and his sister as well.
Okay, so a little bit about your history into DJing and a little bit about Beatbloxers.
Right, just a little bit. Basically started off when I was 10. Got my first decks at Christmas as a Christmas present. Started off all old school hardcore. Gradually moved with the times, moving through to like house, club classic stuff, and then obviously into garage, trance, a little bit of drum and bass. Played on many different circuits like pubs, clubs, bars, restaurants. Done internet radio stations, private radio stations. Yeah, so I've done quite a bit with that, and then been sort of in and out of it, and then I think me and Si, we went on. Was it Fat Beats?
Fat Beats back in the day, mate. Back in the day. We started off on the home studio, my little box room at my house. You remember?
Yeah,
I remember that.
And then we went into the main studio at Fat Beats up in Enfield, and then it kind of just went from there. And then I went on to Shine and things like that. Did you come Shine and that with me?
No, you went Shine, I went Fox.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of divorced for a few years.
Yeah, he divorced. He went Shine FM, I went False FM. He went East Side, I went West Side.
I remember the box room. We used to kick Dino out.
That's it, mate. Yeah, it was a box room as well, wasn't it? Because you had the stairs. You had the box thing where the stairs used to go down.
Yeah.
And we just kind of took over every weekend, wasn't it?
Wait. We started, if you actually remember, before we actually done the radio station, you actually started in the hallway downstairs.
Oh, yes, I did. I commandeered the hallway as well, didn't I? Yes, and I built that box thing for everything to sit in.
Yeah.
That's right. And everyone used to have to come in and out the back door.
So we have bedroom DJs, and we talked about kitchen DJs, but you were the original instigator of the hallway DJ.
We made hallway DJing the thing.
Took it to the next level.
Well, took you to a different level, whether it was higher or lower.
But you got to remember back then, if you were DJing from home, you couldn't do video because number one, internet weren't fast enough, was it?
No.
To do it from home, you'd have to have a business form of internet, which was back then, which was fortunes, absolute loads of money. And I think we were doing audio only, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just audio, and then from there we kind of went into the main studio at Fat Beats because we wanted to do something a bit different, and they were streaming video, and it kind of went from there.
We done a little bit of the Second Life as well when we was doing the virtual club.
Yeah, we've done that. Did you come UKG Soldiers with me as well?
I've done a little bit with you, not a lot.
Yeah, that was up in
Sunrise. Sunrise, you did.
Yeah, Sunrise was the rebranding of UKG Soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
It was the rebrand because that's when Garage was starting to sort of go like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was sort of tailing off a little bit. But yeah, you've been around the block more than once in more than one way. Yes, and you can't lie because I know these things.
So you're now part of Beatbloxers. Can you explain how Beatbloxers came to be and how you're with us on Dance Party?
Right. So so basically with Beatbloxers, it was formed with me and another DJ, Darren Doorstep, Paul, who's on our station as well. Basically what it was, we both joined Dance Party at the beginning. Due to like family commitments and things like that, we sort of both felt that we struggled to hold down a weekly regular set because we both got children. As you know, I'm in the front room here, so it's, you know, having to commandeer the front room and times that they go to bed, slot times.
Mate, commandeer the whole house.
So we sort of, because we couldn't guarantee that we could do it, and it was kind of putting a little bit of pressure on us. We left, and I went back to just doing like Facebook audio, and then Darren approached me and said, like, do you want to do a little something together, like, you know, to sort of help each other out with just, you know, viewers and whatever. So we sort of said, yeah, sod it, let's do it. We ended up sort of coming together, and then we said, like, you know, to brand it as something rather than just, you know, our individual DJ names. Because his wife, Wongy's sister, Tiff, is also doing DJing as well. So it was kind of like the three of us. So that's how sort of Beatbloxers came together. And then obviously because of the separation issues me and Si have, he couldn't have me, you know, disappearing. So I said that we'd come back under the Beatbloxer brand, which entitles us to then be able to swap shifts. So, i.e., one weekend Darren will be on, the next weekend I can be on, then Darren or Tiff can go on, just so that we can chop and change it. So, in effect, we could have like 2-3 weeks off, you know, which is, you know, helps with the family side of things. And obviously, until I finalise building my shed at the back.
Yeah, we talked about it the other day. Go on, expand where you're going to.
What's your Spongy, what's your address? So when it's built, we can people come around and rob you.
You know exactly where I live. you only need to go for a beer in the cottage loaf, and you can hear me.
Just follow your nose, just smell him.
I tell you what, then let's talk a little bit about your studio and what you're looking at doing in regards to like setups, speakers, and just a little bit about what you're sort of trying to achieve in regards to a studio.
It's basically going to be a studio come bar. The decision was, even before we, I got back into doing the online radio station thing. Me and my other half, at the beginning of lockdown, we discussed about building something out there, possibly for us or for the kids, or something, so that we had somewhere to go other than the house. Funny enough, our neighbours built a bar, which kind of then gave us the idea, we'll do one ourselves. Makes sense. We don't really go out because obviously
Keep up with the Joneses.
So we decided we're going to build a bar, and then obviously when all this started coming along, I said to her, we'll do it as a joint thing. So it'll be a studio and a bar. So it's kind of going to be even like a very small club.
Do you have a working title? Envy's is the doghouse. Do you have a working title for yours?
I'm not too sure at the moment. I might call it the Love Shack.
Oh, really? Just call it the bar studio.
So take it. You were talking about it the other day about your kind of schedule. So you're looking to finish that by what, this summer?
It's actually being planned now. So it's probably going to start in early spring and be done ready for the summer.
Yeah, I mean, in regards to studios, my one's small. What I would advise is, because I'm putting an extension on, I would advise that you just do it all in one go. Just make it the size you want it.
I've already built one, which was actually going to be start of the bar, but then my wife commandeered it off me for her business.
For an office.
So she has that as the office. So basically, all I've got to do is build an extra 3 walls and a roof, because I'm building it actually onto the other end of a.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to make a massive doorway in the back end, and then it will just go through to the extension bit on the other side with and I'm going to hire the roof as well.
Yeah,
so Mr. Wongy, you will be very busy in the summer, mate.
Are we having a dance floor in there?
I'm basically putting another 12 foot on the length, but it's still only going to be 8 foot wide.
That's all right. Be like the gas club back in the day.
Gas club, man.
Yeah.
Like that, on the plus side though, like if you have your own studio, your own space, it makes life easier in order to do stuff, because I'm in mine now. I've got no kids. I've got no noise. It's peaceful. It's great.
Or you just like Wongy be on his own and just have it your front room as your studio. Comfort room anyway. Yeah, what are you going to do, Mr. Sprung? Are you going to go for green screen or go for lights and ambiance?
Well, like I say, I looked at green screen, and I think just because everybody else has got it and everybody else is doing it, I'll probably go for something different. I'm probably going to go for something of more on the terms of like a mural on the wall, and because I actually wanted to get I've actually got some vinyl coming that's basically been remastered and resent out, and it's all going to be signed and everything, so I'm going to have them on the walls as well. So yeah, so it's just probably going to be more of a
light show.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to go down moving heads.
Yeah. I might go for holograms and holographics rather than the.
We know where this is going.
Well, you see, my idea was having a green screen with all sexy women dancing around me, but you know.
All I heard there was Sam in the background.
He's like, you wish.
me and T actually found a website the other day, and we were looking at things for Valentine's for green screens, and we actually found some bits and pieces like that, didn't we? Which I am probably going to use.
You did. I didn't.
So who was on Pornhub?
Have a look at this. See what I found.
I was going to say he was on Pornhub when he looking at.
Yeah, that's what I just said. He's on the Pornhub.
If it works, doesn't it?
Whoever floats your boat, mate.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, another thing I think we should sort of touch on today is events, briefly.
Yes.
Because the way that the world is sort of, it's in a mess, isn't it? The music industry on a whole is not in a good place. And how events are going to be going forward. How are we going to sort of be playing out if that ever happens within the next 12 months? So it's information that
I don't think it will be within 12 months.
No,
I think it will be longer. I mean, I've heard lots of different things about having a health passport and all of this to get in, but I just don't think they've got the personnel to police it. I don't think they've got the knowledge on it, because even with the vaccine that you're having now, they don't know whether it's covering all different strains, and with all different strains coming in.
I think realistically, I think it's going to be summer next year before things are really sort of be open. I think they'll probably test run things maybe towards the tail end of the summer or towards like the Christmas. They might test run some things, but I think realistically, things ain't going to be going right until next summer.
There's two events that have been with government sanction have been tested in London next month.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, T, there will be a certain people and promotional companies that will be able to do that, but you're looking on big events.
Oh yeah.
Again, social distance. There'll be one.
Yeah, it'll be the well-known DJs. It will be your top DJs. It won't be anything like it was before lockdown.
No, it'll carry a certain criterion upwards.
Yeah, 100%. Like I say, because the trial that they're having at the moment,
it was just for 25 people, wasn't it? They did different combinations of how they do it. The 25 people.
But what I'm saying is we've just brought out the vaccines. We just brought out the vaccines. The vaccines have just started rolling out through the NHS, through the elderly, and it will start coming down towards us, because obviously the next protocol is children, to get them back to school, and teachers and certain industries. So what they don't know is, like I say, there's a different strand of it now, the South African strand. They don't know if it protects you against this, or if there is any other future strains that come about of it. Like, the way you got to look at it is like, I take the flu jab. Right? I have to have the flu jab every year. And the reason I have to have it every year is because every year there's a different strain. So they coordinate that flu jab to consist of the 10 most common strains that will be around that winter. The coronavirus, it acts like the flu virus. So where it's mutating and changing all the time, they will have to change eventually the vaccine. So having that vaccine passport, so if I was to have the vaccine tomorrow, I could say at this present time, as far as we know, yes, I'm safe. But in 4 months' time, we could have a completely different strain that the vaccine does not cater for.
I'll give you a good example. You say that, so everyone knows the Smurf, don't they? Everyone knows he's locked into all our shows, and you Spongy and Wongy, you know him personally. His neighbour had the vaccine. They had both doses, and then A few weeks later, they both ended up with COVID.
Mm.
So the vaccine doesn't work in all cases, and that's proof that it doesn't work.
They did say it's just under
they don't-
60 and 95%. And then
Yeah.
you need to have both doses. That's why they're giving out one, then the top up, isn't it? That you are not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had both doses.
But also,
When
when you take your vaccine, you have to give it a couple of weeks to start getting into your system and start working before you even like get any immune to it.
But your percentages they quote is when you've had both doses. So you might be in your 20 or 30% in your first couple of weeks. You know what I mean?
But what I'm saying is, even though you have a vaccine does not stop you getting a virus. It does not stop you getting the flu. It does not stop you getting COVID.
No, I mean,
it does not. All it does is you just don't get it as bad. You look at
the flu jab. That's what I'm saying. It's exactly the same with flu jab. The flu jab doesn't stop you getting the flu. It just means that the flu that you get is nowhere. It's like a cold.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect you like
it's not. It's not as strong. It's a lot weaker than it would generally be.
Yeah. So technically, we would be still, a carrier. You could still be a carrier. You could be, have the vaccinations, but you still could be a carrier. So this is what I'm saying. So we're all at this moment. We're in a trial period. Until they actually have longevity of the vaccine and see how it reacts to it and see how it reacts to the different strains. I don't think under any circumstances they would allow mass gatherings.
Well, this is why I say, like, realistically, summer next year is probably a more ideal time to be looking at things that's going to be open. Because it gives you plenty of time.
What they'll do is I reckon, come the summer, certain events will be allowed to go ahead, right?
Yeah.
In terms of small festivals on a small scale. So, i.e., for instance, say like our one, we normally have local around here is that moon dance down at the Sunborn Festival, right? That kind of festival could go ahead, but under a limited amount of numbers. So where normally it's like thousands of people that go, they might turn around and say, well, you can have 1,000 people. 500. Whatever it is, depending on the size of the site.
Even if you say 1,000 people, statistically, probably a quarter of them are probably going to have COVID anyway.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that there was one, I can't remember who done it. Somebody done it local round here. I think it was up Chinkford. And what they'd done is they obviously had it and segregated it with.
It was Chinkford.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of, it was Centreforce, wasn't it? Centreforce done it.
Yeah.
They done it and it was segregated. So basically, for instance, if you had, just say, Si and Wongy, you was in my bubble as such, us three could go together and we'd be in our own segregated area. And we'd have a waiter that would come around and take your orders at a distance and things like that. That's the only kind of I could see happening maybe in the summer is very minimal style festivals, just to kind of i.e. get people a chance to get out and also for
the
economy to make some money. But in terms of like bars, no chance. In terms of clubs, no chance. Anything within an inside area with a capacity, no. I don't think you probably
really what we need to be looking at as a station then is to put on something outside.
Yeah.
In my garden, it's big enough for about 50 people.
Yeah.
Could have the DJs here, and I could charge £5 entrance fee.
It just reminds me of an old school.
But then he charges you tenner to leave.
Well, it'd be all right because you weren't invited to play, so it would be safe. But yeah, I think the thing we have to sort of look at is when can we get out? Because I think the industry on a whole is going to fall apart massively. And we was talking about this with the CEO of Beat Hub the other day, and it's going to open up massive opportunities for people like us.
Yeah.
DJs that have just come back from a big decade break. The old boys, who Mr. Wongy is, the old man up there, Mr. T. Thank you for listening or viewing the Dance Party 247 podcast. You've had myself, DJ Envy, DJ T, DJ Wongy, and we've had special guests today from Beatbloxers, DJ Spongy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more videos released by us at Dance Party 247. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
See ya.
Do you know what I mean? I've got to take this, sorry.
Really?
Mr. Spongy, I know that you know those two ruffians quite well, but for those who are new to us,
One of them shrunk.
can you